Why are trees? That is the question. Today on Iceberg TV, I'll be throwing discs that are all named after trees. Today marks day one of AGL week. I'm super pumped. AGL was able to sponsor this whole week. They gave me their entire lineup. And AGL is doing a lot of really cool things for the sport of disc golf, for the environment. They have some very unique molds, and they do tons of cool stuff. And I'm gonna cover all of it this entire week. So definitely subscribe, leave a comment, and like the video. And yeah, AGL week day one. I'm gonna keep it really simple. I have a full bag of AGL discs. I've never thrown an AGL disc before. These are all my putters. I'm going to do my best to get through this as quickly as possible. I think I have 18 discs and only 1 or 2 doubles. So I'm gonna give you guys my first impressions of every mold. So I have a Madrone here. It's a 3301. It's my first time throwing AGL discs, so I have no idea how these fly, but it has a nice little thumb track on it, which with my pinch grip doesn't feel great with the thumb track, but as a putter, it feels really nice to have a place that's sort of designated for the thumb. But honestly, I think with these thumb track discs, I probably will be forehanding them. So first throw, AGL disc, the Madrone. That's gonna be my money Annie forehand approach disc for sure. The next, I'll do the other thumb track one next. We have the Manzanita. So the Manzanita also has that thumb track. It's the exact same flight numbers, except one more fade, 3302. I'm also gonna forehand this guy. I'm throwing him a little fluttery. That one handled the torque a little bit worse. I think that one's more meant to be used as a putting putter. The first one's definitely more of a throwing putter. Now we have the Doug Fir, Doug Lewis Fir. I'm not sure what this is. I think that's their mold called the Douglas Fir. It's a low profile putter that feels a little bit more understable. I'm gonna give it a nice firm throw, good and flat. Oh yes, that one's really good. Laser beam straight, handles torque well. I'm gonna throw that disc really well all week, I already know. Now I have an AGL prototype. I'm not sure what this is. Another low profile, feels similar to that Fir there. Gonna just throw it the exact same. Oh, I got over on that one. So it definitely wants to turn a little bit more. Low profile flippy putters. I've got a Ponderosa here. The Ponderosa feels understable. It's a 3.4 -2.0. Gonna just release it on a little bit of hyzer and see if it won't flip up for me a little bit. I actually think I'm probably gonna putt with the Ponderosa because I have one other Ponderosa in here and it's got this really cool big putt crew stamp on it. This one though is much softer and like, this is gonna be perfect for those cold mornings when I come out and film before I go to work. I need a nice soft putter that won't be too firm in the cold. And that one's much more understable. Typically those softer discs usually are. Now we have 2 Baobabs here. I hear this is the most just crazy overstable putter on the market. I heard it's even more overstable than the Stego. We've got this Love Wind stamp and then the normal stock stamp. Gonna just throw one flat. Oh yeah. Super beef. I'll probably be throwing these forehand for up shots as well, but I'll use it for forehand and backhand shots. Give it the forehand. Oh yes. If you compare that to the Stego, it doesn't disappoint. Super wildly overstable. That's just a crazy disc. Now my mid-range lineup, I've got a few different molds. I've got the Beech, the Magnolia, the Spruce, and another Magnolia. So we'll put the Magnolias together. We'll go with the Beech here. The Beech feels like what would feel like a more overstable Buzz OS. You can see it's got a super high parting line and flat top, which usually means just ridiculous overstability, which I'm a big overstable mid-range guy for forehand upshots, so I actually think this guy's gonna be money for that. Oh yeah, look at that fade. Just wants to immediately start swinging to the right. That's a really good mid-range. Now, we'll go with the spruce. It's a 5.4 -1 2. Sort of feels like a Buzz, maybe Buzz SS. Probably more like a Buzz to me, but what do I know about Buzzes? Nice and straight with a good fade. That's that workhorse mid-range that like you just need something that'll go straight and fade. That is the one for that. Now these Magnolias are a 5.602. This one's a 5.502. This one's a 5.602. So this one's supposed to be a little glidier, which makes sense because you can see one's domey and one is like board flat. So that's interesting. Most companies don't take the time and the effort to adjust their flight numbers accordingly. So I expect this one to dump a little bit sooner than this one. In my experience, flat discs are actually less stable unless they're like that, the mid-range, the super over stable mid I just threw. But we're gonna go with the 5.602 Magnolia first. Nice and straight with a good fade. Now this one's soft and flat, so I feel like it's gonna be more understable. I'm just gonna throw it on a little hyzer. It just feels more understable to me. It's like that hempy blend and it's really flat. Let's see. I think this one's gonna be a little more flippy. Yeah, it actually flipped up a little bit. It's like maybe a -1 turn, but definitely less glide. Wanted to come out of the sky, so if you really want to land next to the basket, you definitely want the more flat top version of that. And I will learn the disc plastic types and the names. I'm just taking in a lot of information right now. This is kind of the first look so we can see what I'll be using all week. This is my fairway driver and my distance drivers. My only 7-speed driver is going to be the Sycamore. It's in this really nice like speckled plastic. Feels very similar to a T-Bird to me, but maybe slightly less overstable. Also going to release this guy on a slight hyzer. That disc just feels really fast when you throw it and definitely wants to get a little bit of a turn. That's going to be my hyzer flip machine for the week. I also have one 9-speed, the Locust. It's a -1.3. So I'm expecting a slight turn with a strong fade at the end. And this one, I think they use recycled foil to make the metal flake, but comment below if that's not true, but that's my understanding of what they do. So it's got all these different colored speckles in it. And instead of throwing the used foils away, you just can grind them up and then they wind up like this. That's my understanding. If that's not true, let me know. We're gonna try this Locust nice and flat. Little low and probably a little more turn than advertised. Definitely need to put that one on a little bit of hyzer. Now this brings us to our distance drivers. We've got 3 seaters here, 3 different runs probably in 3 different plastics. This one's like super board flat, fairly stiff. This one's domey and also gummy and really flexible. And then this one's got some sick like multi-coloring to it. Absolutely awesome looking. We'll start with the soft one. I think this one feels like it's gonna be the least stable. It's kind of soft and gummy. We'll see if, I think he sent me 3 of these because I told him I'm a forehand guy. So this must be a good forehand disc. Oh, that's beef. Think Excalibur or PD2, and then just make the rim a little smaller, make it into an 11-speed, and you have a seater. This one's gonna be, it feels like it's gonna be super overstable. The parting line's like extremely high. Look at that. Skip. I mean, huge flare skips. This is definitely like your go-to backhand and forehand hyzer driver. 11.503. definitely flies true to the numbers on this one. Just gonna backhand flex this one, see if it can't handle some little bit of Annie. Oh my God, I threw it straight into the ground and it picks up immediately. That thing is ridiculously overstable. My last driver fell out of my bag. It's on the ground over here. I have one like super bomb distance driver. This one is the Redwood. It's kind of like low parting line domey destroyer, like a flippier destroyer kind of feels like, but just super incredibly low parting line. Definitely is going to have mid-flight turn. Feels really good. I feel like I can really sink my fingers into this driver. I think I'm gonna release it on a little bit of hyzer. That thing is glidey. So the Redwood goes really, really far. That's gonna be a great driver for me to use for the week. So big thanks to AGL for sending all of the discs out for the week. My next game plan is to go out, play a full round and see how I can do. I just have to go out, learn the discs. And then I plan on challenging a pro player in the area, have a little bit of a showdown, see how I can do against another person. And then I'll play a very difficult course, pro tour level course, either Hornets Nest or Nevin Park, and see how I do on a pro level course using the discs. I anticipate I'll play way better with these discs than with the Vibrams. And I'm really excited to use AGL discs for a week, not only because they're nice discs, but they also are for a good cause. Comment down below. You're watching Iceberg TV, and enjoy AGL week. Take care.